Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Happy Wednesday. Folks, it's hump day. If you haven't seen, I believe it's Geico, you really need to see that commercial. Mike, 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 Mike. Let's go flying with Mike, Mike, Mike. So, folks, we are in the Caribbean today. Let's kind of take a little bit of a lazy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Most of you all get to say, woohoo, weekend's up ahead. Not the other half. We have to work. Well, actually, I'm off this weekend. I get to say woohoo this week. Otherwise, I usually work one of the days. But anyway, hey, that's down the road. Today's the day we fly down in the Caribbean. We're flying from Nevis Island. I think I pronounced that right. If not, we'll see a war erupt between the U.S. and them here soon. Then we're going to fly up to St. Maarten. Most of you all like this airport. Nice, fun approach into the beach. Then from there, we're going to trek over to San Juan, where most of these Caribbean carriers are based, and call it a day there. So hopefully we'll get all three or two legs in, and we'll actually have some enjoyable flying. All right, so here we have the Grand Caravan from Cessna. It's also known as the Cessna 208B, as in Bravo. Hope you enjoy it. Hope if you do, folks, I mean, this is a great aircraft to add to your collection. Really fun to fly, really intuitive to learn. Heck, I'm still learning it, so bear with me. You're about to learn with Flying with Mike. I've only got a few hours in this, and I'm going to tell you, there are some things about it that do make it challenging. And I know there's some of you veteran GA pilots out there in the sim world, that's a piece of cake. I find it fun. You know, I mostly am found in the big airliners, the 737s, the Airbuses, the 747, and can you really fly an airplane on one engine? I'm trying to figure that one out. Guess we're going to find out today. Yes, you can, folks. These are the airplanes of choice down here in the Caribbean. So, all right, so let's hop up in the cockpit and be wowed. Wait, where's the glass cockpit? All right, how the heck am I supposed to fly this thing? There's no glass cockpit here. Yeah, welcome to the old days again, folks. And actually, it's not so old. This plane actually does fly still. So it's going to be fun to take it back in a little bit, feel like we're going back in time, but yet we aren't. And yes, we are beginning to get it ready to go. Getting a couple of the vents that haven't been opened yet opened, and what have you here. Look at that, an old six-pack. Those of you that are single-engine pilots, there's your general. That's how flying used to be, folks. Then they threw all of this in. That's what I learned on. Not all these autopilots and GPSs. The sad thing is you wouldn't know it to watch me fly these planes. Well, the problem is I think the sim, in the infinite ways, they try so hard to emulate the real world, which I think X-Plane does the best at. They overdo it in some areas. That's my opinion, folks. I'm sure those to be at Laminar would probably say, "Heck no, we do it just right." So to each their own. Okay, just getting my altimeter to where I want it. All right, and that's how you change it, folks. You noticed it came in millibars. If you want it in inches of mercury, you got to click right on the altimeter setting, and it'll put it there for you. And oh, look at that! It also blows up. How about that? You know, that's a feature, folks, you don't find in many aircraft, the ability to see, like when you're trying to fine-tune the props. See how you can fine-tune them? you can actually take that and go down here and maybe even move over and go, hey, let's move the props back like we're supposed to. And you can actually see it like you can in the real airplane. So it's just some niceties that I like. All right, so let's pre-flight this, shall we? Again, it's St. Kitts, Nevis Island to Sint Maarten to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Nice little flight today, folks. And as a treat, for those of you that have been wondering why Sim Toolkit is one of my big favorite go-tos, we are going to flight plan leg 2 in Sim Toolkit to as our pre-brief. How about that one? So stay tuned for that. This should only be about a 40-minute hop to Sint Maarten. We'll take a short break there. We all have to stretch our legs, get our land legs back before we put them back into air legs. Ah, you like that little pun, huh? So, see how many of you were still awake. All right, so let's bring up Sim Toolkit, shall we? He says as he looks for it. All right, there it is, folks. Sim Toolkit in front of us. All right, now I do see that I have gone to a commercial break, so I'm going to give it just about the 10 seconds or so left to go. Why didn't you auto-connect? That was not nice. It's not nice to fool with flying with Mike. All right, I show that we should be coming back from break. Welcome back again. Welcome to Flying with Mike, folks. Just a quick summary of who I am for those of you just tuning in or just kind of flipping through the channel, with the remote clicker. Click, click, click. Oh, wait, that's TV, not Twitch. I do like to have fun. I am a private, let me rephrase it. I do possess a private pilot's license. I just need to get up with a flight instructor, get recurrent, as well as get my physical. I personally would like ground school just to get myself from the 80s, like, dude, what are you doing, to the current day of, heck, I don't even know how the heck we talk today. So I am basically in touch with what we are today, because airspace has changed from TERSAs and TCAs to Class A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Getting into my granddaughter's alphabet training. But literally, that's what we've become, folks. So, and upside down wedding cakes and all of that good stuff to learn airspace and all. So that's me. I may not look like a private pilot to you when I fly this plane, because I always come out at the end of it embarrassed that I even put myself on the air with this plane. And many of the turboprops, I actually never flew a turboprop, just Cessnas, Pipers, and Beechcrafts, about 300 hours of flying. So no, I have very limited instrument training. So when I talk about instrument charts, I hope I'm doing it justice and not completely, for those of you in training, just blowing the training you had out of the water, because I try my best to do it right. So today's flight will be on Mac Air, Millennium Aviation. So we can try to log it, and hopefully this will be 2 successful legs and we'll have a good time. At the same time, learning the Caravan, and of course just flying. Folks, we're down where it's warm, where we all wish we will. Let me rephrase that. Right now it's kind of warm here in St. Louis, so it is kind of nice to stay in St. Louis today. Usually this time of the year we want to be down in the Caribbean. So all right, and you're probably saying the same thing about your hometown. So unless of course you are down here in the Caribbean, and hey, cowabunga, dude, here we come. All right, so here you see Sim Toolkit. It's a great tool. It's free, folks. I highly, highly recommend it. There is very limited learning curve to it. People tell me it's hard. I don't see that, but then I've been using it now better part of a year and a half, 2 years, maybe even longer. And it really helps me out a lot. And like I said, those just now tuning in, the second leg, Sint Maarten to San Juan, Puerto Rico, will be planned on this tool right here. That's one of the many tools that are in this tool belt here. All right, so you can see going from TKPN, Charleston is what they call it, Charleston, Nevis Island. I guess this is actually St. Kitts, this is Nevis. There is a larger airport about right here. Let's see, what else do we have here? Also, down at the bottom, you can add things with this little sprocket. I've added my NavGraph charts. SkyVector comes with the product. It's free, so it's not like they're breaking licensing or anything, or they have a license to allow it to show free. I wouldn't know how all that works. So I've included my SimBrief account. And if you fly up in the United States, I highly recommend knowing this website, DATIS. The one that I can give you right here, strictly U.S., Alaska, or Anchorage, Honolulu, and San Juan. We'll use it going to San Juan. But beyond that, you will not get it. So if it says DATIS on your chart in Europe, you won't get it on that. Unless there's a way to do it that I haven't been shown, or taught, or figured out on my own. So today's flight, we're going to fly the Ovisa 1 departure to ZPATA, to the A517 to PJM. Those not familiar with PJM, that is Sint Maarten, Princess Julian VOR. And that's what the VOR approach is, go figure, based off of. So let's get in here and really take a look. Now you do have some links now to the NavGraph charts direct in here. I have it just so I can do this. Zoom in. And voila, we are not centered. Why weren't we centered? There we go. So we're just going like this. And then you just import your flight, import SimBrief, boom. And that's how it's going to look, folks. And you just saw it on the SimBrief. However, down below here, you're seeing that it's added the OVISA 1 RNAV departure. You go, wait a minute, that's a Caravan. Stand by, folks. We'll show you. To Sint Maarten. We'll work the approach out here in a second. Being that it's a short flight, should say right down 58 miles. So, folks, it's not going to take us long at about 140 to 50 knots to get there. All right, loadout. How many brave souls today? 7 are boarding the plane for Sint Maarten. Got no cargo. We have their bags, but overall no paying cargo. We're going to fly, I've told you the route, and we're going to fly at a cruise setting of 1900 on the blades. We'll show you what that means at 6,000 feet. We might fudge up to 8, we'll see. But right now we're scheduled for 6, and we'll see if we can keep it that way. Weather, what would you expect in the Caribbean, folks? All-out gale force winds and 20 degrees. Maybe Celsius. That's a stretch. No, today, folks, a light breeze. Out of the, what do we got? Out of the north at 8 knots. Temp 82 degrees Fahrenheit for those Fahrenheit heads like me. And, oh, bad attitude has entered the room. And why are the sound alerts being a pain and not sound? I think I know why. No, I don't. Huh. We'll have to figure that out. I think the sound alerts broke again. We'll have to figure that one out again. Bad attitude. Dadgummit. We'll get that figured out. hopefully maybe during the quick lull we'll have up at Sint Maarten. So you can see great weather here in Nevis Island. Great weather waiting for us up at Sint Maarten. We'll be landing runway 10, that I do know, and probably departing runway 10 here. So, hey, all 10s. Hey, we might even land on runway 10 at St. or at San Juan. Wow, pretty easy. Try a refresh on the OBS side. I would not. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Do that. Do that. And that didn't work. Doggone it. Unless I'm missing one. Nope. Oh well, like I said, we'll work on it. We'll get it back up and running here in a minute. All right, so there's our pre-brief, folks. For now, I'm going to stay offline until I feel like I've got the plane. Yeah, I did it for the sound alerts, the refresh. Yeah, it's just not playing nice. Hang on, I'll try one more thing while we're here. Okay, wait. This is the wrong alerts. It's this alert. Where are you? All right, folks, bear with me here.
CC793, go down.
Did that come across? Because I have it accidentally set up to my speakers here. All right. Yeah, I figured it out. I had somehow logged out. All right, so there we go. We got those back up and running. I hate that when I start. One, I will give you one drawback with Thranda, and it's that Sassel error. If, like in my case, I started up OBS before I hooked up my headset into my computer, so now most of those sound alerts will come out on my end through the speakers. You should still hear them however you're set up. However, if I wanted to go back in and shut down OBS, restart it, obviously never do that during a stream because that kills the stream. And you minimize or what's the word they use? Set it to where you're in windowed view versus the whole window. You're going to get a Sassel error. You have to reload the plane. Thankfully, you don't have to shut it down, restart it, and all of that. But you're pretty doggone close to that. So, may I make a suggestion? Yes, sir. Of course, Mister Bad Attitude. As long as you're going to have a good attitude about it. Looking into voice meter. Yeah, I've heard. Is that the one that beeps in my ear when someone puts a post up? Or is that the one for working my sound out? Okay, yeah. Kind of like what was it, something bananas or, oh, what the heck was the other one that I used to read about, but I opted not to just because it looked like Yeah, there it is. Sound meter potato. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've been told that, and I've got to really got to look into it because I do know the sound can sometimes get kind of wonky here. So, all right, well, let's get this plane going. And I have fully up and running. So if you ever interested in getting it set up, let me know. Okay. Yeah, I will definitely give you a heads up, and we can get together on Discord and figure out how to get it all set up. Um, I don't know if I can. The potato one, isn't that the one that's payware and then the other two are free? Or one is like zebra and giraffe or something like that? We had a program where we would do IPs. You had IP chicken, and you actually could do IP every animal in the world. Banana, okay. Kind of cracked. You know, I could just imagine working a help desk, and I tell you, I need you to go to a website. It's called IP Chicken. I could always see what's going on in their mind. And that's what I may only need. Okay, so yeah, I'll get with you on that, and we'll see if we can get that rolling. Because yeah, I know I do need to improve the sound quality here. But yeah, those kinds of setups, so voice meter banana, voice meter potato, just reminds me all the time of telling people go to IP Chicken. And it basically, folks, if you do go to IP Chicken, I'm not telling you a bogus site. It will really tell you your IP and a couple of other things that a lot of the help centers look for to give to their developers to help you out. So it's just IP elephant, I think, was one, and giraffe, lion. I think they had just about every animal you could think of. So it was hilarious. But yeah, I'll get with you on that bad attitude. All right, let's stow away our lovely toolkit here and tell them inside we're ready for bags. So, oh, okay. So with yes, voice meter potato, you have four cable out virtual cable outputs, splitting up Spotify, X-Plane, ATC, and all your sounds. So it integrates with OBS and can control your sound on my end and not in OBS. OBS is not an easy thing to run your mixing on, folks. Just to let you know. I know parts of it is still not working correctly. All right, so let's get this firecracker going, shall we? All right, so now once you get your flight plan, you can save it and it goes right into where all your FMC flight plans go for your default stuff, which is what I have done here just to help aid in getting us going better. So, real quick checklist run. Just some information for you. Our intended, well, here's our loadout for today. Here's the aircraft. Um, this is how you would monitor how things are. Like, are you tied down? All the covers on. See how they turn red? Tie downs would go green. Oh, chocks weren't on. Wait, yeah, they are. You can start with the engines on, off. You can even actually start this thing with the GPU. And that one I'm not so certain, but I guess when you get up into colder climes, you might need that. So you can just see what all you can do. Clicking here will close and open doors. Same here. Those cargo pods under the plane, right here, those doors are opened right here. And I can toggle it away or bring it back. Because there are some Caravan that do fly this way. I like the pod on. And you can store, like usually if I had, oh, do have tie downs on. Get those off. There we go. The one other thing I'd tell Thranda, Would love to see them do specifically with this plane, but the Kodiak may fall into this too. The pogo stick. Absolute must on this plane. Why, you ask? Very simple, folks. This is how you load the plane in the back. So as the people get on, the weight may not transfer right. Your tail's going to come down. So you need that pogo stick. Matt, 1997 Air, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. And yeah. So yeah, that's a must that I wish Thranda would look at. So is it a deal breaker for me? No. Obviously, I'm still flying it. Weight and balance. We can go here. You can see all the neat things here you can do. You can come down to miscellaneous, turn this into cargo, keep it passenger, executive seats only those that work in the corporate high towers, and so forth. I can enable. It's like I mean, I can't imagine walking down the aisle of this thing, but you know, I haven't been in one, so I don't know. You could put on mud tires, mud flaps. I mean, the plane runs everywhere, folks, so it is, to me, a must. All right, we're going to come back up to weight and balance. Oh, my weight and balance cleared. Ah! All right, hang on. Before the flight, I actually saved my configuration. Load. There we go. I got 2 pilots at about the same weight and passengers about. Yeah. Good luck finding passengers at 113 pounds each. That's just nothing but kids, folks. Another thing about this plane, I'm hoping this helps a little bit. A lot of test flying I've been doing after streams with this plane to kind of look a little more like I know what I'm doing. It kept wanting to go one direction or the other, and I'm thinking the weight and balance had a lot to do with it. So we'll see. All right, so there we go, and here we go. All right, so let me get the checklist up here. We're coming in. Let's start buttoning it up first. Now, the neat thing, you can get the mouse to play nice. Oh, that didn't play nice at all, did it? All right, let me reopen that door. Supposed to bring, oh, I see what I had to do. You got to do that first, then that, oh, yep, then that, and that closes that door. So if you're going to do it the old-fashioned way, like in the real world, you know you got to close this one first before you close this one. I don't think there is an easy way to do this down here. So just go closed, and then they close up on you. I'm just going to go click and click to make it easy on those doors. And we're ready to go. Oh, I've already got the chocks away. Hang on, let me put the chocks back in. Okay, always want to make sure. I thought there was, yeah. Okay, just saying some of them are. Okay. All right, so we're back into cockpit, folks, getting ready to go. All right, so before checklist, we've done the inspection. Weight and balance is good. Doors are latched. Briefing is being conducted back there by the first officer. And parking brake is set. Now, just like many airplanes, you can get rid of this. The Y key, which I just learned a couple days ago, folks. The Yankee, Y is in Yankee. That works, or clicking on it individually. And all I do it for is so I can see better down here. I go ahead and turn these all the way up, and I'll show you what they do here in a minute. Basically, they are your panel lights to help you be able to see and to lower visibilities. One thing I did not check, bear with me, thought so. Oh, we are real weather. Okay. Just awful clear out there, so I wasn't sure if we were, because during some of my flight testing, I took the weather completely out. Another tip Austin behind Laminar gave me. We're going to really try it out on this one. Come up here to your settings, go to your joystick, then control sensitivity. And you all are going, what a wuss, man. He's got them all the way to the right, man. He actually recommends this. Now, I haven't tried this in the airliners yet. A little nervous too, because I like a little bit of control in the center. But I'm curious if this will work or not in helping curve the how hard it pulls when you take off. And that, by the way, is torque and P factor. All right, so we are ready to go. Ignition is normal. Okay, easy. I've got some windows set up here, so normal. Switches are all off. Radar is. There is one thing I don't like here, folks. It still does this after all of the updates. You get it in the right view, you lose gauges. I don't like that, but they obviously can't recreate it or they would have fixed it. Air conditioning's off. That's right here. Bleed air's off. All right. Down here on the panel. Okay, so you have emergency power, kept at norm. This is your trim for your stabilator. Throttle. So far, so good right now. What's this blue lever, everyone? That's your props. Pull forward for start. Fuel. Okay, folks, pretty much those of you that fly complex planes, meaning like Arrows, Saratogas, Cessna 182s, I think have a complex constant speed prop. But if it has a constant speed prop, you have this. Does not have to be a turboprop, folks. And you have your red valve, your fuel valve, mixture valves. Here it's called condition, I think. Fuel condition lever cutoff. And that's all the way back. Then you'll move it up to low for taxi, high for flight. Checking out my trims. I just noticed the aileron was way out of whack. Rudder's good. Fuel valves closed. We're ready for flight. Okay, real quick. Fire detect. Oop, gotta have the battery on. Hang on. A little warm out there. Let me get this little window open. One thing I like about X-Plane, you're about to see here, folks, and it was something missing from FSX and back. I can't speak for that other side of the river tracks, but this is something that was always missed, and you'll see it here in a second. Okay, battery switch on, fire detection, good. Annunciator, good. All of that everyone had. Nav lights we all had. Beacon we all had. Okay, fuel pump. I hear it. Let's go on. Out our lights. Flare prop. And now. FSX, that blade would immediately spin as soon as I put fuel on it. It would not spin prior to that. Here comes the fuel. If you've ever watched a turboprop start up, the blades just don't start spinning. Jet engines just don't start spinning. They wind up. let's get our headphones on. Why don't we? Much better, wouldn't you say? Out here, still here. You don't hear. That's because what they've done in Thranda is simulated putting on your headset, meaning you're tuning out that airplane noise to help hear ATC. I think that's really cool, Thranda. That's a Thranda thing. That's not an X-plane thing that I know of. All right, so like I said, these are your panel lights. I just turned them up to start with. And then these are the individual floods, so you can, see more because it's turned on. All right, let's get those avionics switches on. Go to standby powers on, and we'll go normal on the fuel. Here we go. All right, I told you I have the flight plan, so let's find it real quick. Look at that, it's right there. Click, enter, boom. Looks like it may even have our departure. It does. So basically you can see how it's going to work. We go out to OVISA, to Coxon, Maxvu, Oakdale, Ver, and back over. Pretty straightforward how to load that in. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, get your butt up here. Not sure why that's doing that. Flight plan, same thing. Enter, and it's in. And basically it's just a backup. Now this is your nav and COM 2 right here. COM 1, nav 1 right here. Now the only thing we truly need is our, oh, I did it again. Hang on a second. Because we're really not flying anything until we come off of Novar towards ZPATA, and then we're direct PJM. So that's what we really need in there. PJM is 113.0. COM VOR 13.0. Outer ring moves the bigger numbers, inner ring the little numbers. Punch it up. And what heading? And before I get too far behind the curveball here, I'm going to get the ACARS program running. If it doesn't work again, guess what? I'm not overly concerned. It didn't work last time because this guy did not start the sim correctly. And we are connected correctly this time. All right. Trying to get our heading here, folks. Hang on a second. 168 outbound. Let's go about right there. And if you push, that will center it. Doesn't work on your OBS, but it does on your course, but it does on your heading bug. Okay, we are just about ready to go. I think it's because we're too far out, too low. All right, let's taxi out runway 10. Nevis traffic, what is our call sign? November 785 Whiskey, taxi runway 10. How about we remove the chocks first? What do you think? Okay, here we go. All right, let's get the plane ready for takeoff here. Only bad thing is the brakes do trip your beacon and and strobes. And as you can see, you can pull out just about everything here, folks. So no reasons why. Yes, you can, if you get the bigger setup, go, you know, make it quicker to get there. Flight director's on. Yaw damper when we get to the runway. We're ready to, autopilot's ready to go. Here we go. Get to the end of the runway, I'm going to make sure my barometric pressure is right because I think it's wrong. Okay, I got 2 steps to do. We'll do as we taxi. (10:14). Now, it's not necessary you use the displaced threshold, but I use it because if that's usable runway, well, why not? See why it's a little bit dogged here getting around the curve. It's uphill. Okay. Lights are on. Okay, we're ready to go, folks. GPS set. Strobes are on, wing flaps 20, heat, flight push. Okay, get some air in the cabin. Brake release, fuel lever to high idle. Okay, rotating at 75, here we go. And you can see she's raring and ready to go. One other thing I want to always do is pitot heat. Oh, we don't need the wing lights. Unless we expect ice. I don't think we'll see ice in the air. Maybe at the dinner table? $60 knots, airspeed looks good. 80 knots, rotate. See how she's wanting to lean always. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and set my props. See how I'm able to. You can't do this in the real plane, but you can here. I highly recommend utilizing it. Oh, what didn't engage? What didn't engage? Something did not. Oh, I know. GPS. We're back into heading mode, so we're back to where we were. See if it'll. Really weird why it's not fully coupled. GPS. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't catch it the first time. All right, well, we're in the air. I'm not really sure what happened there, folks. It didn't capture the nav. These are the things I want to make sure don't happen when I'm on VATSIM. And there you go, folks. All right, let me check something here real quick and then I'll bring it up for you. Just preview what it's going to do here. Perfect. All right, brought charts in. I'm going to get it so it's zoomed in where we are. So as you can see, we're flying out the departure here. Oh, let me do that. Bummer. So anyway, we're at OVISA. We're going to head out to Cox, go Axon, Maxfu, Udkel, Novair, out to ZPATA, and then turning to go direct PJM. Okay, that's our departure. Here's how it's looking. You can see down here, nice little track here. I'm going to go ahead and put the one in from Sim Toolkit. So that way you can see where we are along the way. And folks, feel free to put in those predictions. We'd love to see how close we get. I never know how I'm going to land this plane. I always get shaky just before touchdown. All right, and we're just about to cruise. I'm going to go ahead and knock it down a notch or two. Let it start speeding up a little. And meanwhile, let's get the radar on. The radar is not all that great, folks. Not really sure why, but again, you would just see greens, and the greens would be hard to tell at best. So, all right, so there we go. We're about a minute from leveling off and into cruise. Hope you all enjoy, folks. If you're new to the channel, smash that follow button. We'd love to have you aboard the next flight. And boy, do we have a flight for you tomorrow. Highly recommend packing some liquids and solids because we're flying from JFK to Brussels. That's right, we're doing a long haul 747-200 run. So ought to be fun. I've only done a couple of these. And in streams, they get kind of, you know how streams can get. So hopefully you'll get the whole thing. Is that 10:12? It's 10:14. Okay. All right, let's so now you can see we're headed to Maxfu, Udkel, and then on. So basically, here's that other airport I was talking about, is St. Kitts. This is the bigger of the two. Orientate you, it's about right here. There it goes. All right, so yeah, you get an idea where it's at. All right, so we are now in cruise. All right, we don't need to worry about ice protection. However, let's set the throttle. Keep the blades at 1900 and set for about 17 on the torque, and see what she'll do. And then once we cross the next fix here, we'll start talking to you. That's one thing you don't know. Tell me. Nope. I was hoping it'd tell me landing weight. It's not. All right. So there you have it. We are on the autopilot, folks. We are leveled off. Cruising along. It looks like at about 150 indicated. Hang on. Ground speed of about 173. So we're doing pretty good, folks. We should be up there, it's saying 17 minutes or so. It's not a long flight, but it is fun nonetheless. Set 200 for now. We'll adjust as needed. 50 miles from St. Maarten. As you can tell, we're getting close to Novar, and then we're headed to ZPATA. All right, so let's start looking at this, because guess what? It's going to be on us quicker than we really are ready. So what I do, let me push open the Sim Toolkit here. Sorry, charts. Okay. All right, so we're going to come down here on charts to approaches. Okay, so we're coming from ZPATA. You take the RNAV, loop it in. I think that sounds like a really good idea. RNAV 10. Let's make sure there's no restrictions. Or we could go out, do the turn and come in. Say we do this one. And you can see now how it's going to look. It's going to head out human, turn inbound. How's that sound? All right, so what do we do here? Let's get some tool or charts repositioned. Just enough so you can see it. About that. All right, so we're gonna get ready for the turn here at Novar. We're going to ZPATA. First off, go to procedures. I'm gonna select the approach. RNAV 10. Look for your transition, enter, and there we go, folks. Now, one thing you could do in this situation, I'm going to wait till we get a little closer to ZPATA. You could actually activate. It'll fly over ZPATA and start flying it. I'm going to wait just to make sure that we get closer. So let's look at the flight plan real quick versus our chart. Okay, so we're going to go ZPATA to Humana, Humana to Vaki, Vaki to Lesor, Alpen to the runway. I know y'all don't see that, eh? Apon, it's one on bed and it's on. See them anyway, so we'll be on visual long before. Now when we click activate, this portion of the chart will happen. This portion from ZPATA to Juan and that. do is come over procedure, come up, activate approach. Scroll it up and activate. Pretty simple to utilize, just seems complicated when you look at it. Right? So as you can see, ZPATA 330 to Juan, Ana to Aviation, which is a straight run, technically off the VOR, but we'll just fly this in. Okay, real quick, let's look at this chart while we have probably 6 miles to go. Again, ATIS 127.65, Juliana approach, Juliana tower. No frequency to tune in, folks. It's an RNAV. Approach course is 096. All right, we're going to be in LNAV mode, meaning we're going to be tracking on the GPS. So our condition is 700 feet, MSL, 686 feet. Dialing that up right now for minimums. We'll make sure we get that down below as they match. Here's what's required. Transition level. Technically, we've actually are above transition. Not by much. Know the route. Aviation 2,600 feet. Lessor at 1,700 feet. Down to Mappin, which is our missed approach point. 686 feet. Let's call it 700. Right, now, for us, we need a visibility of 1,500 meters or more. All right. In LNAV mode, restricted to no faster than 205 knots. If I do that fast in this plane, I may rip the wings off, so don't think we have to worry about that. But we need at least 680 feet AGL on the clouds. That's how the METAR reports, and 1,500 meters. Did not see any of that, so we are legal to come in. And I'm clicking us to go, enter. Now we're flying a heading of 330. I'm just going to set the bug just in case. Here to about 96. All right, so we're set and set 13 down. Okay, now obviously it's fully deflected because it's way off an easterly heading actually. Okay. And then finally, like I said, down here, we're going to probably be coming in at about 531 feet a minute looking for pappies. There's our minimum. So there's our charts. We're ready to go for the arrival. See, we're tracking 330 to Juan. And we're going to be descending here shortly to 2,600 feet. Leave. That is Sabo. shortest runways out there. Yeah, that is Saba. 1,300 foot long runway for you folks. If you're into short field runways, there you go. Those of you in Europe going, I don't know what that is. It's 396. Was it 396 meters? Yeah, 396 meters. Good luck. We approached it once and said, nope. We're going back to Sint Maarten. All right, let me resize this window one last time. All right, and I see that you're all back, so I hope you all got the arrival brief in, and we are tracking. Now you can see the difference. GPS top one here at 530 is set up on the arrival. This is set up on the flight plan. So, and I would have done that in case ATC had it either way. Okay, let's see. What are we looking at up ahead? Alright, looks like variable winds at 2 knots, few clouds to deal with, 2,000, 29 degrees, 1016 on the altimeter. Nothing significant. That's a weird, did you read that, by the way, folks? Isn't that weird? Second one, aft cabin, pull, forward cabin, push. Huh? Forward cabin, push. Defrost, pull. Really would love to meet a real Caravan pilot. Actually, I'd like to go up and I don't really want to feel the torque, but I would love to feel the torque in the P factor with him right there ready to help me out. Because I'm pretty sure it's way too much plane for this guy. I had a lot of trouble with a V-tail Bonanza. That was a fun plane to fly, folks. But you had to be ahead of that plane. It would eat you alive if you weren't. Boy, it was fun. Took me a while, but we got it down and started making some pretty decent landings. But boy, until you got just far enough ahead of it with your checks and setups and all, boy, it would eat you alive. But what a great plane that was. All right, folks, so how's your week going? Well, we still got some time here on this leg. Hope it's going well. Not too long ago, we flew St. Maarten to St. Bart's. Then we attempted Saba. And gonna try it. I may get an Islander just to give it a shot. That or the Kodiak. I guess the Kodiak would work out good. That's stolen aircraft, I think. That could be wrong. Better get the oh, doggone it. I don't know, tip store. Anyway, I know another plane I could look at. I think Thranda does make that one, so I may look into it. So it's Juliana to Avaki, that is 6 miles, minimum 2,600 at Avaki and Umana, so we can be in our descent at that point. Okay. Alright, let's walk through what are going to be our landing speeds. Alright, normal landing in this aircraft is 75 to 85 knots. See if I have any charting to help us out better in the arena of projecting a better landing speed than that. All right, so I plan to descend at 140, 20. Welcome aboard, sir. I hope you enjoy the Caravan. We're gonna see how much we like it. Thranda's Caravan, to be exact. And if y'all are interested in the Thranda Caravan, there's a link in getting it. It's good for X-Plane 11 and 12. They have different link or different downloads for you. And it's actually fun. I just have a hard time with the trim on it. Any prop plane in X-Plane seems to be tough for me to trim. I am doing good, sir. I hope you're doing great as well. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to think X-Plane's painting some weather up ahead of us. That is not in my METAR. What is going on here? All right, let's see what they are reporting. Visibility 10 kilometers, 2 miles, 29 degrees, 1016. I'm going to go ahead and set for that. aircraft adjust. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. We're doing the RNAV 10 approach. I don't think we're gonna land on the RNAV approach. I just don't see that happening. I could be wrong. I know. Well, I probably actually have tried to depart on an RNAV arrival. Doesn't work out good. I never get why the altitudes go down instead of up. But all right, we're over Umana. Time for that descent. All right, time to get serious here, folks. Yes, let's go down. Let's go down about 800 feet a minute. Then I want to knock us down to 26. All right, there we go, folks, setting it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take your seats. Tray tables up. We're about to land in Sint Maarten. Hope you've enjoyed the flight. All right, power them back. Now, I did listen to now this is a totally different aircraft, C-90 crew. Flying the Beech 100 or C-90, however you want to call it, King Air. And their descents are done right at what's called the barber pole. That's the maximum airspeed. They bring it right up to it and descend down on it. We're trying to do the same thing here, see if it works. Good thing about a Caravan, ultimately 1,700 feet at less more. So that's what we're going to play off of. Actually, we didn't make it, so let's continue to 17. Not bad though, 4,300 feet, we dropped 2. Here we go, folks. Now it is time to start slowing her up. She's getting very close to the red line. Sint Maarten straight ahead, folks. All right. Time to allow the plane to begin to slow. Got the runway in sight. On top of it, folks. Used to have a localizer. Okay, lights on. Cleared to land 10. November, what the heck are we again? 682 Tango Fox. About the only thing I find this good for is time to say your prayers, folks. Here we go. I have control. Okay, we're just above flap speed. Nice descent angle. Variable my butt, folks. There's a pretty good risk cross on here. Patter is just not playing nice again. Here we go. Okay, trim it down. Why? Because when you put flaps in, what do flaps do, folks? Add drag. Drag means the nose is going to go up a little. So you got to have to adjust your trim. Plus it's giving it a little added lift with each layer of flaps you put in. Roger, cleared to land 10682 Tango Fox. Okay, let's start getting down in the groove. Go flaps full. Runway in sight, landing. And you can control your rate of descent, folks, a little bit with the throttle. When you get a little off course, use that rudder to kick it back over. Starting to get into the groove, add in some power, and that'll cut off your descent. Wow, that really does help, folks. That nice narrow taxiway. Alright, probably shouldn't do this, folks, but I am because it's a flight sim. Second, folks, I'm going to get this power lever down. All right, let's do some quick stuff here. Lights. That was actually not a bad landing. Flaps up, ice off, strobes off, landing taxi light, fuel conditioner low level. All right, so we're to the point we can taxi now. All right. Don't want the trucks to have to go around us too badly. All right, folks, so let's let the engine start cooling. Parking brake set, avionics are good. We can go ahead and shut them off. Standby power off. Okay, fuel boost can go off. Okay. Air conditioning off. All right, bleed air's on, inverters, power level, maintain 1 minute. There we go. And flaps can come up. Flight was outstanding there, bad attitude. 220 feet a minute. That's one of my better Caravan landings. Wow. All right. Oh, we're going to go ahead, shut her down. And at 10%, folks, we can kill the battery. There we go. Welcomed again to St. Maarten. Let's get some doors open. See if we can do this. All right, welcome in, folks. All right, so let's take a look at it real quick. Yes, I am. I got one more planned today, sir. me get rid of charts here real quick. And I'll go ahead. Oh, not Sim Toolkit. Wrong Sim Toolkit. This one. We'll get rid of the overlay. All right. So let's take. Well, I could have brought Sim Toolkit in. All right. Let me quickly file this. Pirate filed. 229 feet a minute. What a great flight. All right. I have another flight queued up. It'll be from here to San Juan. But let's first take a look at what we did on this flight, shall we? All right, again, here's the whole, oh, that's right, this one you can't do that. Anyway, real quick, there was the whole route. You could only see it for a brief moment. We'll go ahead and close it. Okay. Okay, so 220 feet a minute. So there's the route. Again, there's our little spin here because we don't know why it didn't immediately engage into nav. I don't know. But we were able to get a quick recover and on our way. Quick snapshot of the flight, 50 minutes en route, 58 miles traveled, 100 kilograms of fuel, 220 feet a minute at 72 knots. Looking at our checklist, folks, that is 3 knots short of the minimum we showed up here. So that's not too bad overall. Yeah, we landed a little long. I did want to make this taxiway and we ended up here. So we came back and you could see this was clear, so we should have been able to taxi right back. We're okay. And we're parked in here. All right, so let's see here. So we do have a displaced threshold, and this is the famous fence, folks, people like to sit off of, hang on to when the heavies take off, especially now. The only heavy aircraft I know of are A330s out of here, headed back to France, maybe Amsterdam. But there are no 747s anymore. They love those planes. So you got a displaced threshold. You're not supposed to land here, and you'd really be close to these people if you did. Okay, so 1,600 feet down the runway, 78 feet to the right of the center line. Folks, that is just, might as well just call it on the center line. Really well, to me, that's a well executed landing. That's in the world I used to fly in, I would always aim for here. But since the sim is the way the sims are, hey, I'll take it as long as we're there. Only wish that I got on the reverse and binders quicker. And then you got the metrics over here. So you see what you've learned. Well, you just got to learn, keep your speed up a little more, get down before you chop it. And then you're right on. All right, folks, there you have it. We're going to take a quick break here. Don't want charts. And I'm going to be right back. I'm not shutting the stream down. I'm just going to use the restroom real quick. And then we'll start on Sim Toolkit setting up Sint Maarten to San Juan. Be right back. All right, folks, we're back at it. Let's see what kind of damage we can do now over to San Juan. All right, and as promised in the beginning of the stream, we would flight plan this here on the ground, not on SimBrief. Well, in a roundabout way we are. You'll see what I mean. But let's take a look here and see what has to happen. All right, let's go back to my favorite friend, Sim Toolkit Pro. Free download, folks. Highly recommended. Go to flight planning. He said, go to flight planning. Go to the advanced planner up here on the right. And now we're going to go in here. We'll put TNCM, select know who, TJSJ, know who. Now these are current flights in FlightAware, I believe, that are real flights that are out there. And I did see these. FedEx has a couple of short aircraft shorts are in play here. You can select and it'll load them. However, we're not. Okay. However, let's get our aircraft in here. November. Oh boy. Now I gotta. Let's try it. 6, 8. Here we go. Okay, now it's going to give us the ERA call sign. That's just because that's what I've been using it under. Today, let's go with BEX. Flight number, oh, I got to remember. Is it 408? Standby. And this is actually a lot earlier than when this 408. I was correct. See if it gives me the IATA code. I don't see it. All right, hang on. We'll try something here. Airline BEX. No. It's Kingfisher is what I know it as. All right, let me go that route. Kingfisher Air Services. And they may not have a wiki site. As I expected, they do not. Okay. Well, yeah, they don't show anything. All right, so call sign today will be, let's go 408. We'll plan a takeoff at, 2105. Go ahead. Okay, this is what I keep telling y'all about. The OFP format. In SimToolkit, it's just simply called plan format. What that means is when you hit generate, right here, or create in this place. If you're in SimBrief, it'll say generate. Oh, you're generating a route. My bad. When you generate the plan, it'll be in a different format, but it's more tailored to what you would see with American Airlines. There's also Southwest, KLM, JAL. I think KAL's in there, Southwest. JetBlue. A whole bunch are in there to look at. Hey, some of them are interested. United has a couple. Each has its pluses and minuses, so you play that out however you want. But that's what I was talking about. And of course, whatever flight units you like, pounds, whatever. Now, I am going to go ahead and grab the route. Thought I had it, but maybe here it is. And let's go ahead and generate. Really? Oh, here's the advanced. Go with a 5% contingency, 45 minutes of fuel. We'll figure 20 minutes just to be safe, and 10 minutes in. We'll just keep all of that open. Specific routing. You know what? Let's see what it brings up for us. What the heck? All right, and there you have it, folks. You could put in your own cruise or let it select. Let's see what it does. Give it a second. Then we're going to get this. It tells me yes. And close. Okay. So there's our routing out to Juice. Now we'll fly the departure, of course, out. And then there you go, into San Juan. Planning, runway 10 out of here. Now they're shooting us over to 8, and I think that's because these airlines, like this one, go to kind of like a GA area. I've been kind of noticing on flight radar. So we'll go ahead and play out on 8 and come off right by it. So we'll see how that all works. We're looking at about a 36-minute flight. Fly now, and this, folks, is what you're used to seeing. Really? ATC came down? Huh. Wonder why. Wonder who's no longer flying. But, well, hang on. Approach is still up. Okay, and we'll get into that here in a second. So, all right, so looking really good here, folks. But yeah, the center itself has dropped. Very interesting. Okay, so loadout. What did it give us? 7 people, total of 1,500 pounds in payload, fuel 920 pounds, and 7 people, 100 pounds of cargo now added. Okay. Then we've got, again, runways 10 and 8 we're going to be using. And there's our routing, which is what I plan to put in, by the way. 8,000. That'll work. And I know there is some weather. I did see it. It's up on the Simaware site. Now, what it's not showing here. So I'm not sure. Did I turn it off? Can't tell if I turned it off or not. Anyway, it's not showing any weather right now, but there is the potential. All right, so that's our pre-brief, folks. Let's get into it. I hope that helps you out. It's not hard. Now, there is a way to do this VFR. It never works very easy for me. I don't stick around, though, and play with it to make it work like some would. Okay, so you can again see our routing, top of climb, top of descent, so forth. All right, what do you say we hop up and see what kind of damage we do? first off, let's get the checklist reset. And for those curious, I am using Chris Berger's Cessna 208B procedures for this flight. You can look it up, real easy to find. We are running. Bear with me a second here, folks. So we got 1,500 pounds in cargo. So we're gonna yank it back. Then we'll reset the pilots. Okay, so 1,500 pounds. Dial these guys back up to 200. Okay, and we'll let it balance out the rest. Now the fuel we said was 920. Little bit of extra fuel in it. And just in case, let's save it and let's do it. Okay, oxygen's full. You can see a lot of interesting stuff. Now here's where you can actually change how the panels look. Yeah. Really wish the radar looked like that. It doesn't. All right, so we are about ready. Let's go ahead, button up the back the easy way. All right, doors are closed. And chocks on. All right, let's do it. Okay, as before, folks, pre-flight inspection and weight and balance complete. Doors unlocked. Passenger brief complete. Cabin doors locked. And parking brakes set. All the switches are off with the exception of the nav lights, or of the panel lights and the nav lights, but the battery switch currently is off. Ignition is normal. That's all the way back. Circuit breakers are all in. They're right there, folks. And fuel is both. Okay. Bleed air is off. Mixing push, flight push. Okay. Props full. Condition lever idle cutoff. Throttle good. And emergency in normal. Hang on a second. Setting the trim tab to takeoff. And rudder locks are off. Fuel shut off. Battery switch coming on. Lights are on in the back, and I think we're ready for a fire up here. All right. Okay. Say we start up, folks. A lot easier to start than a big airliner, isn't it, folks? Battery switch on. Fuel pumps on. Steady yellow. Prop area clear. Clear prop. Beacon on. Watch that blade again, folks. That is one of those things I really like. Go on. 50. You will turn the starter off. There we go. A little easier on the ears. Okay, let me enter. Now you could come in and put in all of these. Airways, you can't. So that's where it gets kind of, that's why I like just doing it this way. You're loaded up. Now we're at PJM. All right. So with that, I am going to bring up charts again. Fill it up just a little bit here in the screen. And then got a couple steps we got to do here. Go to flights, click unload. And then what I'm going to do is just do a quick clean up here. Now, here's how you do this, folks. Click import, SimRief. Here's our flight that we just flew. Here's the one we're going to fly. And there it shows you how we're doing. Now, technically, more than likely, we could fly this since we're technically VFR. However, we should fly under instrument rules, so let's take a look at the departures. All of which involve coming out and then up. And Juliana we're not going back to ZPATA, we're going to Juice. That's the one we're going to kind of look to do, except I'm going to go more direct. Because we can actually get around here a lot better than the bigger air. The airliners have to fly this. We technically could take off, come back, intercept and go. We would cross the approach, would turn this way. But we'll do a little bit of it, folks, and then get turned on routes as we get some altitude. So, procedure. Yes, you can do this, folks. Departure. Enter. We said Juliana. Enter. Juice. Transition. Enter. And load. So now what it has done, let's just look at it real quick. Sure we don't come back to PJM. All right, and then we'll do a little bit of hand flying, but about this point we'll be able to bounce on out. Here's what that looks like, folks. Okay, so again, you take off, you head down here to PJM 10 miles. That's why I said probably just keep the turn going and head to intercept 292 and fly on the juice. I think that's probably the safest bet. We were in the weather, yeah, you'd have to either find a better departure or weather it out. Okay, real quick, we can do the same thing down below. For those that missed it, procedures, come down to select departure. Enter. Juliana 2 is what we're doing. You can look these up in charts and see what they look like. They're all pretty doggone close. And it's loaded in here too. Flight plan. One page over. The 430 is a very basic one. Flight director's on. Alright, so we're ready. Hawker 125. Welcome in our moderator, Aficionado Lurker. No, we're not flying jets today. Welcome in, sir. Welcome in. And Hawker, you're still a jet. That's okay. All right, let's get this set on the heading. We're good. Good here, all set, ready to go. Aircraft's warmed back up. Shocks away, please. Okay, folks, here's how we're going to do this taxi. So we're going to come out, we're going to follow down here on the bottom. Turn up here, come down Echo, oh wait, down Alpha. We could technically go from Bravo, and we probably will. Actually, we probably could go from Charlie. But, you know, we want a little, actually, let's just go from Charlie. Let's just do it the simplest of simplest ways. We're going to go down here to Charlie and down. Again, for those curious, the weather here, variable 2 knots. This is 42 minutes old. Scattered layer, it's 1,800 feet, 29 degrees, and it's 1016 on the altimeter. If you're not able to read the METAR in charts, it will translate it for you. To include when they have information like remark, sig, zit, literally is gibberish. It'll actually tell you what that means too. Over in San Juan, we do have an ATIS right now. Real world, we'll go with. So currently, the weather here, well, let's do the METAR first. Okay, so currently, the 170.6. 10 miles visibility. We have a broken layer, so folks, this is our ceiling, 2,500 feet. Overcast, 6,500 feet. So we're going to have some weather looks like to deal with. 25 degrees, 2998 back in the U.S. stuff. Now, this is that gobbledygook that I told you about that most of us don't know. This part I do know. Thunder showers southeast to southwest, moving to the northwest. And it breaks it down for you. So you see how the ceiling is here, 2,500 feet. And then, here we go. See how it took all of those AO2s, slipped 1,500, and that gave it to you in, what the heck does it mean? So, anyway, gee whiz for most, but it's kind of cool. Alright, so let's get ready to taxi, folks. Juliana traffic, November 682 Tango Fox, Caravan, taxi to 10, intersection Charlie departure. Flaps 10, 20. Okay, all set here. Taxi lights on. Well, you missed a really good flight there, Hawker, from Nevis Island down by St. Kitts to here. Really, really great run. Highly recommend it since you're one that likes those kind of short hauls. And show you another interesting way here, folks. If you know you're getting hit by ATC and you don't have time to get that chart up, I can find out what he wants me to do right here. Yeah, we're going to go off a chart. All right. Okay, holding short. Let's make sure our altimeter is right. 1016. All right, and you can see we're going to taxi, take off in this direction. Again, we're going to do the procedure. However, we're going to probably just keep coming. Well, we'll probably go downwind, then turn to 45, cut across to intercept. So let's get that intercept set up. 292. JM. And then we'll catch up with it. It will be just flying it that way. All right. Y'all ready to go? I think I am. Flaps up. Pull up. GPS switch will stay. Let's go back to V-lock. 4.4. Okay, strobes, annunciator, wing flaps, carb, heat, mixing, flight. Windows closed, brakes on, fuel handle, high idle. Again, it's a 20-degree flap takeoff. Power will be set to torque at 19 to 20. Props will go to 20, no further. ITT will keep within hitting the red. All right, here we go, folks. Juliana traffic, November 682 Tango Fox, departing 104 Santa. At 60. That's rotating. Adjust your trim. Like I said, this is where we're going to depart from the departure. get sunglasses on, guys. Gotta look cool up here. Come on. Alright, we're in heading mode, so let's go ahead and make our turn to intercept. Alright, that looks a little better, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know why that was set up like it was. I messed that up, or something messed it up. Okay, you can see it's alive. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! What I'm going to do up here now, folks, come up to the flight plan and pick it up, and you enter. So what did that do? Basically, that skips all of this, including juice, and we just start from juice to our next leg. LARP. So, I can now, what I like to do first, flight plan. See how far out juice is? It's about 50 miles. Let's stay on this track for a little bit. I'm going to put her back so heading is available. Then I would also, well, no, I wouldn't turn the seatbelt sign off because, well, one, we don't have one. Two, not on. Most likely, since we don't even have a lab, why? You know, they can take their belts off like you're gonna see. There is no flight attendant back there, folks. So. Now, you can hear the engine noise pretty well, can't you? Let's get our headphones on again. Probably one of the best features I've ever found in the flight sim. Thranda, great job with that. All right, let me just go through the rest of my checks here. Okay, we're in the en route climb, 110 to 120. We're punching that pretty good. Let's go ahead. Actually, we're doing pretty good blade-wise, too. We're at, we can pull them back a little. Okay. Throttle, we can come up a little, say to about here. There you go, folks. We're in cruise climb for another 3,000, 2,000 feet. Here in a moment, I'm going to put us in heading mode. Let's go ahead and do that now. Then I'm going to put the GPS CDI into GPS. Go back to nav, and fingers crossed we're not going to turn. Other than to line up better with juice. And that's what it looks like it's doing. All right, so we're on our way, folks. According to the clock, 1 hour, 8 minutes ahead of us will be San Juan, runway 8. So okay, now one other thing you can begin to do here, folks. This can actually be flown via with your radios. You don't have to fly at GPS. So you get to about LARP, juice LARP, you could switch, track in on TST. Drop down to Palico and then track in on San Juan. And then follow the approach, which we're going to set up here shortly. But yeah, you see how that you could actually do this without being on GPS, and I actually have once or twice. It's not an easy thing. I seem like I'm kind of meandering, but yeah, they do it a lot, folks. Now, when you're in the weather, use all the tools that you can. I mean, everything that you can. In this case would be GPS, all of it, and to get you through. But once you get above it, or still got to use it because you don't have anything on the ground. Which, by the way, you don't either right now. However, the nice thing about flying out in this part of the ocean, the islands, you can figure out where you are with the islands. Unless, of course, you're cutting from San Juan down to Barbados and then you're out over the middle of nowhere. You better be on GPS. Okay, we're reaching 8,000, folks, our cruise level. So let's do this. All right, like I said, this is COM 1 nav, or VOR nav 1, COM 2 nav 2. Okay, currently we're tracking GPS, nav, so we'll be going to juice and then following our route to TST. All right, let's set 108.6, looking at our charts. Right here's what I'm looking at, folks, St. Thomas. Okay, that's where we're going to be aiming. Let's just, for the fun of it, push it up. This is going to change if we're in range. Looks like we are not. 108.6, correct? I thought we would be at this point. We're about, we're just outside the 60-mile mark, so let's just do that. Go back on San Juan. And what I'm going to do, setting my radar altimeter to 500 for now. Let's set nav 2 up on it. Same thing. 108.6. The nice thing is when you get in range on this radio, folks, it tells you the VOR and your radial check. So that's cool. You're 22 miles from it. Got a good, pretty even fix here, so looking good. use is 30 miles. Oh, that's to LARP. Okay. Whew, so I was like, that don't look like 30 miles to me. So, ooh, all right, folks. So we're level flight. We're on our way. If you want to get a good look behind us. By row 2, got 2 seats. There we go. Personally, I'd like these numbers more like 200 each. So to make that 1,700 pound or 1,500, you know, to make this more accurate. Unless it's, no, it's in pounds. I was going to say, if it wasn't in pounds. But there you go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that one facing backwards? There we go. And then your 9 would be back here somewhere. Or in that seat right there. As a lot of airlines do offer that as a paying passenger seat. Seat 2, folks. Seat 2. Tip from Flying with Mike. Seat 2. Unless you don't want to see the action. All right, so you can see what we saw METAR-wise starting to show up ahead of us. So we'll prepare for the worst here. All right, so let's get ready for this approach. All right, I'm going to go ahead for now. Get rid of charts for a second. Oh, guess what I didn't do? Oh, I didn't fire up the ACARS program. Doggone it. Oh well. That's an easy remedy. All right, and so runway 8. I'm going to go ahead and get us going, folks, because I got a feeling we're going to get into some weather. Not too far off. Oh. Just looking here at a couple things. All right. How true. Oh, to share after the stream. Right. Is this going to be the talk of how much my dono is? Or is it donut? I know, donut. Well, you know, hey, can't live on money alone, folks. You do need some food every now and then, so there isn't wrong with nothing given you get a donut. Awesome. Can't wait to hear the great news. All right, let's take a look here. I'm going to go ahead. Let's plan this arrival out. we're not going to be on with the controllers because I think we're going to really be in the weather. And I am not certain what they got planned for us, folks. All right, perfect almost. Let me back that off just a hair. Perfect. All right, so let's talk about it here. All we're flying over is clouds, folks. You're not missing anything. Let's go ahead and get rid of this for now so it's not a distraction. All right. The neat thing about the charts program. Okay, so here's the runway we're planning for. Runway 8. You can see it's got a mulser. They're saying they go into here a lot. Now, I thought they ended up down in these regions, but, you know, I've never been in here, so I don't know. This is the cargo apron. I do know that. Not sure what goes here, but they're saying, I know, obviously, this tells us what goes here, the C-130s that are based out of San Juan. But yeah, in here is also where these the airlines go. Kind of shaking my head. I thought it was more down here, but anyway, I can't get a good read, so we'll go where they're kind of showing me on flight radar in here. Y'all know better, let me know, and we'll make adjustments. All right, so let's pull flights up. All right, so let's get down here. Do not think we have an arrival that'll work. I think we're already past all the start points, except for we could do the Chaka 4 from Chaka. Let's see if that's even how that looks. Because we'll be going to Wesson. So we catch it at Chaka. Right, yeah, we could do that. Chaka. Speaking of which. Okay, the VOR is coming alive for Sint Maarten. I'm sorry, correction, St. Thomas. So if we go Chaka. Let's see if we can do this. Hang on. All right, so now we know Chaka is a good possibility. Add that to the route. See how that looks. Okay, perfect. And we just have, that'll work perfect to Wesson. And we're going to runway 8. All right, so let's go here. Procedure, PROC. Select arrivals, what we want. Enter. No, we want Chaka 8. Enter. No. Okay, this is where what I'm going to do right now, folks, is a smart thing to do. Those are we to Sim. Okay, we got working room. Okay. Let's get on heading. Gonna enter. Okay. Everything looks fine right now. You see what we did? We went into heading mode just in case this thing took us back to PJM to fly it. We did not want it to. So it's continuing on. I will go back into nav mode. And we will continue on. There's Sitka, Palco. Chaka. Okay. Now from Chaka, we then go to Polina, Wesson. Perfect. 6,000 feet. So everything's looking good right now. The next one, we ask to physically tell it we want to activate. And that'll be the runway 8. Okay, so let's go back. So we're looking good. That's what I wanted to see. Now let's go to procedures and select our approach. Do the same thing here first. Okay, so we're coming in on runway 8. Select. They're actually selecting us to 10. We're going to go runway 8. Now we could do the ILS. Final approach. Actually, let me look at Chaka. Is it an RNAV? Specifically saying a route? Okay. Sometimes it will, folks. That's why you need to look. RNAV. Okay, nothing helping us out here. Alright, so we're just going to go from final. Cut that out. ILS 8 final. And there it is. It's going to say we go out here to hold if we go miss, but it's going to take us right from Wesson in. Alright, so let's turn our attention again here. Select the approach. Enter. ILS 8. Enter. Wesson becomes an initial approach fix. Perfect. Enter. Load. Now you're going to see it doesn't do anything here. I hope. Fantastic. Okay, we're still on course. Let me roll it down. See how it's set up here, folks? It goes to Wesson, then it goes to TJSJ. We then tell it to either activate and do the hold at Wesson, or we activate at Joral. So what I'll be doing is I come in, we'll get into Wesson. Just before there, I'll activate and then tell it to go to Joral. So that way we skip the hold and go right into the approach. I know it sounds a little confusing. Wait till we actually do this in about, I'll give it about 30 minutes for us to get over there. This is a pretty long leg, folks. Mileage on it is, stand by, I'll get that for you. Hang on a second, I'll show you. Another feature of charts can show you the format you have. So the total run today is 186 miles, so just over an hour to get there, folks. Our alternate is St. Thomas, and our alternate is 67 miles away at flight level 5,000. However, here's the route, right here. SJ2 Route 2, straight to St. Thomas and make our landing on St. Thomas. Looks like runway 0. Not sure if that's right or not, but yeah. Here's our release. And again, this is the American Airlines format. You all may be used to what's called Lido. A little different. It's what comes up immediately. All right, for those of you instrument rated, here's the weather at San Juan. Are we legal to land? Let me rephrase that. Yes, we're legal. Were we illegal to depart? And again, the answer is yes. Can't be below minimums on your TAF with your scheduled arrival time. If you are, you go into a delay. If your, let me rephrase that, if your alternate is also below, if it's above minimums like it's supposed to be, and it's actually supposed to, a lot of people will say it's supposed to be VFR. Good luck last week or the week before with all that fog. 22 states, dense fog advisories. Good luck finding an alternate in VFR conditions. We flew to O'Hare that week, folks. Our alternate was Evansville, Indiana. It was still low IFR. Yeah, it was bad, folks. Yeah, it was just visibility's gone. So that's probably one of the worst I've seen in either a long time or the first time. I used to drive a truck, get up to about Bloomington, leaving St. Louis in late winter, early spring, and you can't see anything. It's fogged in big time for about a good week, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then it finally finds a way to clear up. But, oh my gosh, to get 22 states into that was incredible, folks. Anyway, there you go, folks. That's your sim brief. All right, let's get back to where the plane is, and I am going to size this real quick. Then we'll just kind of get rid of it, see how far out from St. Thomas, sorry, we are. We're 72 miles from Sint Maarten. Let's push that up to 37 from St. Thomas. All right, folks, there you go. Again, hope you enjoyed, folks. Hope you're enjoying the 2 flights we have today. Hawker 125, our moderator, is either in the house or lurking about, one of the two. We're glad to have him aboard. And here's a little bit more on him. Folks, give him a like. Head over to his channel when he's on. He is in the process of trying to get, well, not trying, he already has a Hawker 125 fuselage in his garage. Oh, great dynamic there, folks. No, we're not going anywhere near that. His goal is to turn it into a X-Plane 12, whatever flight sim he chooses, simulator. Now, he's not going to be full motion. I'm pretty sure it would put it into the bedroom. Although he probably would like that. But I have a feeling that could make that his new bedroom. Hey, you know, there could be worse. I mean, you could turn that passenger area into a pretty good bedroom. Don't get me wrong. A fridge, and it, you know, you could really set that up into a nice little apartment. And you're out of the range of frying pans too. Just close the door. But anyway, he is in the process of making a simulator out of it, and look forward. I'll be helping him out from time to time whenever he's ready to pull wire and take a sledgehammer to it and kick it a few times. Just kidding. But anyway, look forward to seeing how that project comes along. And again, you can, following that link there, when you head over and hit that follow button, folks, he'd sure appreciate it. right, and this flight we are not flying for any VAs. We did our flight from Nevis Island to Sint Maarten with Mac Air. Great bunch of people, folks. You're looking for a virtual airline, they pretty well offer it all to you. You just the hardest part with Mac Air, if there is such a thing, is figuring out where do I want to fly and what airplane and what livery. Oh wait, the route part's easy. It literally is like that, folks. I mean, they really have a huge amount of routes. Just about every aircraft available to put on those routes. Now, you would have to find the aircraft and the liveries, but it doesn't matter. They allow you to substitute because some of these aircraft are just not available. So they might have been at one time in the older sims, just not today. So, but yeah, it's a really great bunch. Four divisions. You have the open, which is just what it means. That's where you sign it when you say, I want to fly for Mac Air. That's where they start you at. You fly your flight. Then, let's say you want to fly a flight from, I don't know, Miami to some little podunk airport in the middle of Florida. Well, they're probably not going to be an airline flying to it, so you're going to have to figure out, well, how do I fly that flight if I'm allowed to? Join the charter division. Simple. Request. They review why you want to, and boom, now got the ability to fly anywhere you want to go. And if it's not in the charter division, it's not in the open division, make it. And voila, it's there. If you want to fly cargo, they have a cargo division. They have a historical division if you like flying the older aircraft. And then they have what's called the pro division, where you can actually amp up your skills. I can already hear you guys. Well, I think you ought to get into that there flying with Mike. Your skills are kind of weak. Well, they're 35, 40 years old. And the sim is not as fine-tuned as an airplane is. They're close. I don't feel they trim out as well. But then again, trimming wasn't my best forte in flying. I was more, my hands were on it where they're not supposed to be. I know that. So, anyway, so there's your option, folks. Just flat out, we got great software with the, hang on, I have to always click on it, Smart Cars. A-Car system. They just now went to Smart Cars 3, so the latest and greatest version of it. And I'm here to tell you, it's really a good. I like it. It's one drawback to that, and it's got to be me probably. All right, Hawker, enjoy. Again, we're in a prop, not a jet, but enjoy. Although you are, if you're getting on the interstates, I get it, you are jetting then. So, but yeah, folks, check them out. Great bunch, great all-around airline. And if I want to give you one more reason, if you watch YouTubers, content creators, might have heard the name Captain Mac. Captain Mac is a phenomenal, love watching his videos. I know it's been a while since he's released one, but man, I learn a lot from him. Just amazing. And he formed this airline, and great job. And he also, little does he know, helped spur me into doing streams and videos, although my videos are nowhere close to his quality. So, and that's because I don't know a lot about editing and proper software and all of that. That's on me. So, But folks, check out Mac Air. Really good bunch. You can find them right here in the chat room. Putting it in there right now. That link take you right to them. Check them out before you sign up. Make sure you're okay with it. I think it's one flight a month. I don't know how many flights a month I do for them, so I'm never really worried. If I'm like right today, oh darn it, I forgot to start the ACARS program. I've already flown a half a dozen at least for them. I'm not too worried. Other airlines, I get a little worried. So, all right, well, that's enough out of me, folks. Let's take a little bit, let the music take us on to San Juan. You know what? I think we're going to have either a sunset or nighttime approach into the airport. Kind of thought that might happen, but you never know. We'll be talking with you here in about, let's call it 10 minutes and see where we are. So enjoy, grab a soda, grab whatever, and see you in a few. All right, folks, we are back with you. You can see I brought the charts program in. I'm going to kind of pull it up a little. Not much, just a smidgy. All right, and that is a proper airline term, smidgy, right next to thingamabobber. All right, as you can see, I brought the METAR up here. So I ask again, are we legal to land there? Or do I need to turn back now and go to St. Thomas? The answer is yes, we are. We got plenty of mileage on the visibility, 5 miles. Scattered is not a ceiling. Overcast is, broken is, OVC and BKN are, but not SCT, which means scattered. So that just means we have nuisance clouds to maybe go through. Scud, who knows, because we do have thunder showers in the area. So visibility northeast down to maybe a mile. We're still fine with a mile. You say, what? Yeah, we are. Hang on, let me show you. All right, so like I said, I brought charts up. Let's go ahead and enlarge that a little bit more. A little easier on your eyes, at least. Okay, but we're not taken away from the whole scene here. All right, so over here, we can pull it up by the METAR. Now, you can see the whole METAR. Now, this is 28 minutes old. Hang on a second. I'm going to make a quick adjustment here. Bear with me. That way, when you look at this, you're not going, what is he flying? Oh, that's why. We're on Route 6 to Chaka. There we go. Okay, so now we're turning at Palco, headed to Chaka. All right, look over here. You'll see the METAR. Now, I know some of y'all can't, you don't know what you're looking at here. That's why charts ingeniously puts it out also in a language everyone understands, yours, depending what language you have it in. So you can see we have a wind now 40 at 3 knots. Favors perfectly runway 8 for the most part. We got 5 miles in rain, mist scattered at 800 feet, scattered at 3,000, and overcast at 5,000. That's the ceiling, folks, 5,000. So when we begin to look at these charts, you're going to go, okay, we're legal. Exactly. That's key to start with. Now, thunderstorms could, while not a total, no, we're not coming in, could, in this plane for sure, say, you might want to think about it. Okay, so light rain mist, 5,000, 23 degrees, and then here's that discriminator stuff and all. Down here, this part that I told you that's always so hard to figure out what all these numbers and letters and all mean. So the visibility northeast east is 1 mile, 1 to 100th of an inch. Oh, of precipitation has fallen. I'm like, what the heck is all of that meaning? Okay, so all right, so that probably means we have a wet runway, folks, if we were to pull up any kind of NOTAM out of here. All right, so let's get into the Chaka 4 arrival. I'm going to go ahead and kick that out. All right, up here in the top, it tells you DATIS 125.8. It's 10 feet above the sea level. Yeah, airport's floating 10 feet above the ground, folks. Wow. Altitudes are in inches of mercury on your altimeter, so we need to switch it. And bear with me, I'm going to get my METAR again. 2997. Okay. All right, so, and then you can see GPS required, radar required, RNAV UNO is required, is applicable to prop and turboprop only. I think we have a turboprop out there. We're good. Didn't know that actually about the Chaka. Huh. Learned something today. Time to go home. All right, so when we cross Chaka, we need to be above 6,000 feet. Hey, we are. We're at 8,000. We got 20 miles to Rico, 11 miles to Plena, 5 miles roughly to Wesson. Guess what? I think we can drop 8,000 or what, 6,000, anywhere from 3 to 6,000. This is looking pretty impressive in front of us, folks. Wow. Let's take a look real quick outside. Screenshot. Is it showing up on radar? Bet you it's not. We got a green haze. So we definitely have something of precipitation in front of us. But we're running at an outside air temperature of looks like about 45 to 50 degrees. So I'm not going to get too concerned. I'm going to get more concerned about the turbulence if we get any. So see how that works out. All right, continuing with the Chaka. So we go Chaka to Ruka, Plena, Wesson, again at or above 6,000. We're good right now. Real quick, the ILS. Let's do this. Bring this up real quick. Oh, we forgot to bring charts back. Hang on. Okay, I need to get SJU in here real quick. SJU is 14.0. Push that up. ILS frequencies 110.3. Final approach 78 at Patty, which is also a NDB. We're supposed to be at 1,541 feet. So hang on, I'm going to put 110.3. Okay. In there right now, and we're good to go. We got San Juan, perfect. Mileages are reading off of San Juan VOR, so we're going to need number 2 set up on that. 14. All right, so there we go, folks. And we're already programmed in. We just got to get to where we can activate or lock it in and fly the ILS. Okay, so missed approach. Oh, wait. Decision altitude 300 feet. Right? 302. Let's go with 350. And we're looking at touchdown zone at 9 feet, 10 feet for the airport. Missed approach, climb to 2,000 feet, then do a left turn to 3,000 feet on a heading of 320 to intercept the 004 radial out to Didi and hold. Okay. All good. Keep an eyeball on the aircraft. Make sure she isn't stalling or anything. Okay, you can see the route. We're going to come into Wesson, skip the hold, go to Joral, Patty, get that set in here in a second. Do I have an NDB? I don't have an NDB. Well, that stinks. Okay, so we'll be looking for Patty at 6.1 SJU. Otherwise, would have been on this NDB frequency. All right, and then Joab, and then right in for the runway. Okay. Minimums for the air run is 300. Broken or overcast. Scattered does not count. And a half-mile visibility, folks, with a full set of, if we're missing the rails, and now what, for those that don't know what a rail is, I'll tell you in a minute, but if the approach lighting system is out along with the rail, those are those sequence flashing lights right at the end of the runway, otherwise known as strobes, runway end lights. Your runway end lights are the red on the takeoffs, or as you're departing the opposite way, green for you coming in. And then here's timing for us. 2 minutes, 17 seconds. There you go, folks. Let's get this all sized up properly so we can begin getting ready for this approach. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. There we go. Now we'll get rid of it. All right, so here we go, folks. I think we just crossed Chaka. So I am going to begin our initial descent to 4,000. Get into some turbulence here, folks. Okay. We're getting into turbulence. We need to begin to slow the plane up. No flying it up by the red line, folks. Shouldn't have ice, but we're gonna, make sure we're okay. Okay, so we're descending to 4,000 by Ruka, hopefully. Come around and then hit the ILS Wesson at 3,200 feet. Again, 3,200 feet. Now, if we were going to the 10s, we'd go up to tenor. We're not, so not going to confuse you. Nice and easy on the descent. All right. Here we go, folks. We are working our way in there. Hope you all enjoy. Smash that follow button if you're new to the channel. Love to have you on the next flight, as well as flights after that. And we are in the soup. What they call the ceiling at again? See if we pop out. Okay, we're leveling off. Let me hold us right about 140. Maneuvering speed. I don't think that's what it is. I'm going to go up here and check. Oh, maneuvering speed. It doesn't show up. Turbulent air. 148. All right. Well, we should have been out of the soup here, folks. I don't know what's going on. Welcome to the flight sim. Or, if you want, welcome to the jungle. I don't even see the ground below us. And you got to kind of be careful here because the minimum safes are 5,800 feet here, so you don't want to get too far off this. The actual route we're on, let me check this because it's 3,800 foot for the route, so we're just 200 feet above the safe altitude. And we are still in this. All right, need to be on a heading of 078. Works for me. Okay, we got our frequencies set here for 110.3. Hopefully we pop out here soon. All right, this leg of the Chaka, we can come down to 3,800. 3,500 we can come down to going to Wesson. Wesson, we need to cross at or around 3,200 feet. Okay. Sorry, I talk to myself a lot. I talk to myself all the time on the stream. So I hope y'all enjoy. Hopefully we'll have a pretty good run here. We're going to be on the ILS. And looks like we could be in the soup farther than what the METARs are telling us. Still saying 050 at 3, 5 miles. Scattered 8, 3,000. Overcast 5,000. We're 4,000 and still in it. Okay, I'm gonna go turn the lights on. I really don't think we're gonna come out of this, folks. We'll see. That radar is not looking promising. Okay, I want to set 3500. All right. Perfect. All right. Oh, I'm glad I double checked. Something definitely didn't look right. Okay, let's go ahead and start slowing up. Problem here. Glide slope. I know why. I think we're on glide slope. Let's see. See if we firm up. The dog is getting back. All right, flaps are set at 10, and I don't have any kind of runway in front of me. I should be out of this stuff, folks. Oh boy, hang on. We did not grab the glide slope. We should be at 1,500 feet. We are not. Oh my gosh, I think we're actually breaking out, folks. Maybe we'll see the runway. I think it's on the other side of the bay. No, it's in front of the bay. Oh, there it is. Got the runway in sight, folks. We're gonna eke this one out, but boy, it sure didn't want to grab the approach. Okay, we're taking over. Okay, flaps full. And San Juan Tower, we have the runway in sight. November 682 Tango Fox on approach. VTAR a little off. Broke out at about 1,000. We are stable. Oh, I know you all did. Dogs barking because somebody backed up in our driveway. All right, we're going to go a little long on this. I think we're going to still make the landing area. Well, folks, we made it. Pair of our chinny chin chin. All right, let's see here. What do we got going? We can turn the radar off now and switch to the airport mode. I know you all didn't get to see that. Just trying to figure out where in the world they would park us. looks kind of like down here, doesn't it? Well, that's the old American Eagle area. We'll just go straight ahead, find us a parking spot in here. All right, let's do our checklist. First things first. Okay, blades are full forward, flaps up. And ice protection's off. And landing off. All right, to the ramp, shall we? All right, we're just easing on down. All right, folks, really don't know where they want me to park this beast. I think what I'm going to do is just take one of these hangars up front here, or yeah, we'll just take one of these over here. Like, how about this one? Okay, brake set. All right, let's get this. Sorry about that, folks. That's the one thing I don't like. This click spot is real close to switches. So you got to be real careful. Taxi lights off. Beacon or pitot heats are off. Fuel. Oop, did it again. Off. All right. Real quick, avionics off. Standby power off. Okay, push these. Oh, no, not that. Hang on, folks. Push this one in. Pull this one out. Bleed off. All right, we're going to go ahead and all right, and we are shutting down. And battery off. All right. Bad thing for the passengers. It's raining. We'll try to do everything as quickly as possible here. All right. There we go, folks. Let's take a look at this flight. Since we don't have it on where we have a ACARS program to look at, well, look at it in Sim Toolkit. All right, Sim Toolkit recorded us 291. I'm not sure which jump that was or hop on the runway, but one of them. Here's the routing. Not bad. So we flew for about an hour and a half, folks, 160 miles, 200 kilos of fuel, 291 at 82 knots. A little faster, which is better. All right. Doesn't tell you how many times we bumped the runway, but we did plan a long runway, a long landing. From here out, you're looking at 2,420 feet. 11 feet off the center line. We were trying to get it to correct for the wind and just wouldn't. See if anywhere on here shows us. Nope. Nope, nothing really showing us where we would go. Oh well. Anyway, we're parked right here. So see where, unless it's right, it's hard to tell, folks. Anyway, so there's San Juan, and we're here on a very rainy day. All right, you know what? Let's see, will it let us? What the heck? Let's give it a shot. We're not on anything, so we'll see if it will. If not, I will be ready. There it goes. Let's see. Let's find out. There's runway 10. I really don't know where these guys park. fighter mode, folks, landing on the other side of the center line. Didn't look too bad. Not bad at all, folks. That was a pretty decent approach for a long landing. Really can't see the wing. Pretty heavy thunder showers in the area. Not bad at all. I hope you all enjoyed as we do some replays here from different views in the cockpit. A little fast. Not bad. All right, we're going to do one more. Let's see if the tower will be a pretty decent look or not. Obviously, folks, that was not bad. All right, folks. Well, there it is. 682 Tango Fox sitting on the ramp here at San Juan. Hope you enjoyed the run, folks. It was kind of fun flying from St. Kitts, Nevis Island up to Sint Maarten, then over to San Juan. Hope you all enjoyed it. Folks, if you're new to the channel, we'd love for you to smash that follow button. Join us and be a part tomorrow. You're going to love it. We're back into Queen of the Sky. We're going to go from 1 engine to 4. And we're going to run across the pond. The Atlantic, to be exact, from JFK over to Brussels, Belgium. Hope you're there to join us. Kickoff, I hope, to be backing out at 10 o'clock Central Time. Hopeful. Probably closer a little later, but we'll do our best to get that on time. Folks, you all have a grand night, great night. I want to thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike today, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, might have a sound system that sounds a little better than it does today, but it may be a few days now. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless and see you there. God bless you all. Have a great night.